Can you hear my bird?
Would you like a closer look?
Mom, I need my caffeine.
Oh my goodness!
And welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak.
What's up?
You
And-
cut it early!
And Steve.
Hi.
You know that's making the blooper reel.
That's making the episode. Oh my god.
Like, what blooper reel? My God.
All right, guys. We are going to be reviewing the movie
Wow, we're
Waxworks.
Oh.
But before we get into it, let's check out that trailer.
Yes, let's.
Let's watch it.
Waxworks.
That would be the song, Kevin, if that was it.
So 11:45.
Party
Let's
time.
go.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Imagine, if you will, an exhibit in fear.
Looks a little spooky, boys. You think we should do this?
A place that appeals
Yes,
to
let's
your
do
deepest
it.
and
It was all
darkest
fucking creepy,
fantasies.
man.
Ooh, scary.
Your fascination with ghosts, monsters, and the many unearthly elements of the supernatural.
Welcome to the Waxwork.
Look,
This.
That guy was a big top
Angel.
Pee
Wow,
Wee.
the glasses from Nutty Zombies from Hell.
lose yourself in it.
Would you like a closer look?
Really?
But whatever you do,
Would you like a closer look?
don't step over the rope.
Oh, the special effects. So good.
Special effects were amazing.
Tired to join us.
All right, I'm hypnotized.
Hey, not so fast.
Relax. A cup of coffee, we'll talk about it.
Indy!
I want out of here, Sarah. You're serious.
I should have got his autograph last month for
Pretty
Waxwork.
woman in my
That
illusion? No.
sucks.
No, I gotta.
I didn't even know he was in it.
What the hell did you kill
Like George, I think he says a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget this.
Live, my children.
Hit me!
Pick me!
We still need 2 more!
Vestron Pictures welcomes you into
That
a
werewolf
new
was so
dimension
lifelike.
in terror. Waxwork.
You're like 3 seconds ahead of me because you're
Yeah.
making a comment and then it's appearing on the screen.
And that was your trailer. Steve, why don't you tell us just a little
That's a
bit more
lot.
about this movie?
Made
That was
in
a lot big trailer.
1988 with a running time of 1 hour and 35 minutes, a wax museum owner uses his horror exhibit to unleash evil on the world. That is what IMDb describes it. Written and directed by Anthony Hickox, starring Zach Gilligan, Deborah Foreman, Jennifer Bassey, and David Warner, along with many other people. I love this movie. I saw this movie when I was a kid. What's not to love about it?
A lot, apparently.
Only to Kevin.
So Mikey the Freak, what was your first impression on rewatch?
Do 2 positives equal a negative? So let's see. I actually liked the movie. I don't remember. I do remember seeing it, but it's been probably since the '90s when I saw it. So to rewatch it again, it does remind me of those other Wax movies like House of Wax. Just within the last 20 years with Paris Hilton. So and then the old House of Wax, of course, from the 1960s, Vincent Price. So it reminds me a lot of those type of movies. I don't think it's really a remake of those movies, but similar concepts where the humans either get turned into wax, become wax of some sort, dipped in wax, so that kind of concept. But this one was cool because I like the different scenes. how they had to step over the rope and be invited. And they had to go into it in order for it to take effect. And then right before they walked in, that the rope dropped, and they're like, "Oh, it's inviting, so yeah, I'm gonna go in."
Yep,
They
that's not
didn't
really
have
the
to
case
invite
because they.
David Warner
What?
straight threw that guy into the Phantom of the Opera one. He
Yeah,
wasn't invited. David Warner just threw the fucker in.
Yeah, but I don't think he wasn't one that got.
Phantom of
He
the Opera.
didn't
The
die in
lead.
the Phantom of the Opera, was it?
Yes,
It
yeah,
didn't
he's
count.
the
yeah.
constable. He's the
I didn't
constable
think it.
that's laying on the thing.
Oh
They'll make a movie.
yeah.
They'll
I
make a
didn't think
movie
it.
out of
I didn't think
anything.
it counted. He still needed 2 more people, and I didn't think that was part of it. So I missed that part of it. So the scenes were
the
great.
last two he needed was the Marquis de Sade and the zombie guy. Those were the last two.
Yeah.
It would have been one, but the big giant guy killed the cop. Sorry, I digress. Go on.
No, that's right. That's right. That's where the 2 came from. He actually killed him, but he needed to go into the scene, but they ended up killing him ahead of time. That's right. That's right. But yeah, it was that I thought was interesting. How when they died in the scene, they became part of the wax scene, the wax figures of it.
Waxwork.
And the cops. It was funny that the cops. No, look. So this was what I thought was weird. So since the scene had already happened with the blonde in the
China. Her name is China.
Okay, sure, whatever. So when that scene already happened, that cop stepped over into the scene and nothing happened. So was it because it already had the victim, right?
Yes, I believe so. I believe that's right. Yeah.
So if it needed a victim, you would go in and you would disappear.
Yeah, because he cut out her cheek for
Correct.
evidence.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's why I was wondering why he didn't disappear into the scene. Is probably because it already had its victim.
Mikey, quick question: how many times have you seen this movie before?
Once.
And how old were you? How long ago was it?
I was probably 12, 13. That's probably mid-90s.
So like 40 years ago, right, for you?
30 years ago, motherfucker. Such an asshole. He is such an ass, ladies and gentlemen.
He's only off by a decade or two.
But it made Kevin laugh. It made Kevin laugh, so that's, I mean, really, that's.
He's only off by a decade or two.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ.
Yes, no, one. Yes, okay, yes, I am an asshole, but yeah, he doesn't get swept into the world of the vampire because China already did. That was each of the exhibits needed a sacrifice, and the last 2 that needed the sacrifice was the zombie and the Marquis de Sade. Those 2 could have stepped into any of the exhibits and nothing would have happened because much like when the cop is sitting down, he's flashing to several victims that were missing and where he saw them in the waxworks as figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was confirming that was accurate, if that was right.
Oh, yes, Senator. That is true. Yes. I can confirm.
So I thought the scenes were good. The CGI back in the 80s was terrible. I didn't the puppetry.
It's not that bad for the movie that it is. It's not that bad. It's relatively good for like walking into the waxwork.
No, I'll definitely give it that.
The puppetry was bad. The puppetry was bad.
The CGI was actually pretty decent.
Waxwork too.
Oh Lord! No, I haven't seen it yet. I do want to watch it. Look, folks! If you do watch this movie, you will want to watch the second one to find out what the hand does as it leaves.
Thing? That's where Thing came from, right?
The hand gets away. Oh, that could be Thing. It could be Thing from the Addams Family.
It is not Thing from the Addams Family.
No. But no, I mean, yes, it had a lot of terrible parts. It was an interesting movie. So I thought it was an interesting movie. Like I said, I didn't think it was a fabulous, great, epic. None of the above. But an interesting movie. What do you think, Kevin? Here it comes. Here it comes.
No. Okay. Waxworks. The CGI was The CGI was good for the movie, for what it was. The acting throughout this whole movie was fucking horrible. It was fucking horrible.
Disagree.
Galligan was great. He
It
was completely different than what he was in Gremlins.
Yes, Galligan and
Whole different
and, and the curator of the Waxworks itself. Those two were probably the only two good actors in the whole
No, the dude in the
freaking thing.
wheelchair. The dude in the wheelchair was great. Sir Wilfred.
No, I
Yeah, Sir
agree to
Wilfred was
disagree.
great.
Agree to disagree. The acting was
The
atrocious.
little guy that answers the door. You have to wait for me to ring the bell.
I wanted him to say the plane so bad, and I don't even know if that's the right dude, but it's
No,
it
it's not.
it I still wanted him to say the plane. I don't know why. Any little person, I kind of want them to say, "Boss, the plane, boss, the plane, the plane."
I think you offended Steve.
That's fine. That's fine. Uh, um, but yeah, I did this movie. I did like the premise of the movie. The CGI was fine. The puppetry, the werewolf gets hit and he kind of just like the
That was
werewolf.
funny.
The
That
werewolf
was
just like
funny.
whatever, dude.
Very human as
No, hey, let's be honest. Hey, let's be honest. The werewolf, Sir Jonathan Rhys Davies.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Either
like
way,
I said, if I would have known,
I'm not gonna give anything away, but I'll say the cast of Waxworks 2, bigger names, one of which, and I don't know, it's the only one that I'll give away. Bruce Campbell.
okay.
Look, if I would have known that Jonathan Rice Davies was
So
in
was that his
Waxwork,
hand?
I would have waited. I would have waited for him. I would have
Is
waited
that
in
Bruce
line and got
Campbell's
his
hand?
autograph for Waxwork.
It is not Bruce Campbell's hand.
No, it's
Okay.
not Campbell's hand. Jeez.
But yeah, this was the first time I seen this movie, and it'll be the last time I seen this movie. I don't plan on doing another rewatch of this movie, so it was good for what it was. I've seen it. I can move on.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an exclusive
If
coming to
I,
Back to
I
the
can't
Retro
I
Review.
can't I personally can't recommend this movie, but I'm sure these two can. I can't. Steve, how would you rate this movie?
I don't know if I can recommend the movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say we're going to have a new segment coming to the show. We're going to call it Retro Rewind, where we're going to have to rewatch old movies that we have already done and talk about it on a second round. Coming to you soon. Don't know what it could be, but it's going to be something we possibly watched.
It'll be Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
And it'll be brain donors.
It'll be
I'll
Mac
pick
and me.
Waxwork.
It'll be Mac and me.
I'll watch Mac and Me. It's been years since I've watched Mac and Me. I would rate this movie a 7.5. It's a 7.5. It's entertaining. It knows what it is. That's 7.5. I stand by my tailspin water cup.
All right, Mikey the Freak. How about you, sir?
Man, mine's not that high. Mine's at a 6.
I think Steve is pretty freaking high to rate it that. So,
so anyway, I rated a 6, just for pure entertainment value. Like I said, the scenes are interesting. The puppetry, the CGI, the costuming is terrible. But I did like David Warner as an actor, so I do like David Warner in a lot of his films. And even Zach Galligan in Gremlins. This is a whole different role for him. So he's not the same typecasted actor. So I thought that was interesting to see him in a different type role. But yeah, it's a solid 6 for me. What about you?
4. That's I can't give it much more than 4. Like I said, it had decent CGI for what it was. The acting was horrible, but I enjoyed the premise of what it could be. What this movie could be. But yeah, other than
But
that,
like you said, so
4.
Steve, what do you think? You think it can be remade nowadays, though, right?
I wasn't even gonna. I forgot about that whole thing. Yeah, because I'm high. Yeah, I think it's one of those movies that I think it's a fun movie that could be remade today, and with the same things, or you could add new waxwork elements of just silly things. I just think it's something that would be fun to see a remake
I think they changed the scenes. They could update the scenes. They could update the CGI. Uh,
Keep the mummy
yeah, I
one
think.
though. I liked the mummy
Update
one.
the acting.
Yeah, I
Um,
did like the mummy. Mummy one wasn't too bad. The vampire one, I think, went a little too long.
Oh, my leg! Get it off! Get it
Oh yes,
off!
that was
yeah,
stupid.
yeah. All right, I
He's
do have
missing
some
half
fun
his damn
facts. Yeah,
leg.
I do have some fun facts for this. Effects artist Bob Keane spent 18 hours a day for 8 weeks working on the monsters in this film.
Oh,
Way too long. Way too long. Um,
way too long. He
writer
said
and
they're
director
CGI. What the fuck?
Writer and director Anthony Hickox wrote the screenplay in only 3 days,
What an
and it
Way too,
shows.
way too long. Way too long. Way too
Oh,
long.
let's see. I had another one. There we go. The human flesh being eaten at the vampire dinner is actually made of rhubarb, watermelon, and strawberries. So
Ah,
there you have it. Those are your fun facts. Sir Steve, what do we have
Seriously.
for soundtrack?
Waxwork, main title. Table for Six. Dinners on Charles. Balls in the Slammer. And It's My Party.
All right. Mikey the Freak, what do we
Mikey
have
the
for
Freak, what do you have with related reels?
There you go.
Well, what we talked about, Zach Galligan as Mark. He was in Gremlins, Waxworks 2, Lost in Time. Make sure you watch it.
Oh, Lost in Time. It's a time travel movie. Fun.
It is a time travel movie.
That's so funny. And then Warlock,
That's
the
the way. That's the
Armageddon.
way they. I'm sorry. That's the way they explain it with the first movie. In the first movie, they're technically time traveling because the whole point of the movie is they take a piece of the actual thing that happened and they put it into the waxwork. So they're opening a portal to that point in time. So the people that go to the Marquis de Sade are going to the Marquis de Sade's time and era. The people that are going to the vampire are vampires were a real thing, and that's where they're going, and that's how they explain the whole time travel in the sequel. Sorry, I don't want to spoil too much.
Oh, now I'm interested. I'm
Yeah.
interested
Oh,
now.
spoiler alert.
I'm gonna be watching it later tomorrow. Watch. I'm gonna watch it
Later
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Later tomorrow. Wait, very later.
As I'm falling asleep later tomorrow.
Yeah. So Deborah Foreman, she was in Valley Girl, The Experts with John Travolta, and Real Genius with Val Kilmer.
Who is she in Real Genius?
She was the lady. I can't remember the name. She was sleeping with the professor. She was the blonde sleeping
the
with the
one that
professor.
needs a 9-inch cock that can nail a hammer into a nail into
Yes.
a board.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see that now. Okay, rock and roll.
Yeah, I couldn't remember her name off the top of my head.
Sarah. Sarah is her name.
Sarah.
Sarah.
And then
Sarah is not played by the same actress in the sequel. Sorry, spoiler. Keep going.
Oh, well, I'm not watching it then.
Good old Jennifer situation there.
Call back.
Time travel.
And then time travel. Oh, he did it.
Yeah, okay.
Opa. David Warner.
It's
The great
funny.
David Warner in tons of movies, tons of great movies. Titanic, Tron, several episodes of Doctor Who, A Time After Time with H.G. Wells, Malcolm McDowell, of course, and Time Bandits, one of the first movies I watched David Warner in. I love
Evil.
Time Bandits.
Mom, Dad, Don't touch it. It's evil.
Yes, I love Time Bandits. Definitely a watch. You definitely gotta watch Time Bandits. That's it. That's all I got.
That's it. Okay, one last thing I meant to mention earlier was I was watching this movie and I'm like when they go into the wax museum, I'm like, you don't notice that they're moving. The wax figures are moving. Yeah, I'm like, hey, they're moving, guys.
Yet they're being paid very little, so they're doing, what they're being paid to do.
They were trying to stay still. They
I
were
get
trying.
it. All right, guys. As we wrap things up, Steve, where can people find you on your podcast?
The last podcast you want, Pop Culture Galore. We talk about movies and TV shows and other good stuff, and we do drafts and shit. Tip the field, try the staff. Thank you all for coming. And if you didn't, better luck next time.
If you like what you see here, make sure you do all the YouTuber things. Give us a good old thumbing. Hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you check out the Mod Squad Network, which is the sister channel to Back to the Retro Review, where we have a movie show, a horror show, a gamer show, a conversation show, and we go live every Saturday night with a giveaway. All right, guys, that does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. So for Mikey the Freak and Steve, I am the Beta Geek saying, if I don't see you again, thank you for being a friend.
See ya.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.